Hey, welcome back to Scorpion Insights. I'm Jamie Adams. Today, I'm welcoming my good friend, my favorite Brit, James Marshall. James, you've been with Scorpion for 7 years.
Yep.
You specialize working with family law attorneys here at Scorpion. You've been doing that for 7 years. So today, I want to talk about a couple of specific scenarios, all around marketing, obviously. The first is just thinking about marketing through the lens of a smaller firm, right? So I know that we work with smaller firms, 1 to 2 attorneys. We work with larger firms, 5, 10, 20 attorneys. But let's think about the smaller firm today. When you're talking to a smaller firm, what are some of the advice or some of the points or strategies you recommend to them around digital marketing?
Yeah, I had a interesting conversation 3 days ago with a solo attorney from a family law firm in Houston who was breaking away from a large firm to start her own practice.
Okay, so she's part of a larger family law practice today, and she's going to break away and do her own thing.
Correct.
Okay,
Yeah,
got it.
So with that being said, she's carrying over a pretty small book of business, so she's not going to have too many cases to extend past maybe 3 to 6 months.
Okay.
So in that type of situation, my strategy is going to always be, you're going to have a sustainable advertising spend budget.
Yep.
To get you through that initial period where Scorpion slowly and organically builds up the SEO portion of it.
Yep.
So yeah, that's always a good strategy.
So your
for a
advice
solo
there is, hey, look, you're going to want cases immediately. You're a brand new firm. You got to have a new website in this case,
Yep.
right? Because again, she can't take her
Can't take
big
a
firm
website.
website. I bet she wished she could, right? But,
Absolutely.
But can't do that. So your advice to her is, hey, we're going to get your website up and running.
Yep.
You need to start investing money in like Google ads, Bing ads, like the bottom of the funnel advertising to drive some leads, drive some cases, while we are in the background investing some money in SEO to start building your website up organically as well.
You said it better than me.
And I'm just recapping what you said. That's all. So tell me about what's a mindset of someone like that, right? Because again, you're going from kind of the comfort of working within kind of an established firm, an established brand. She probably doesn't have the onus of having to generate all of her own cases. Now she's moving to a scenario where she is the boss.
Leap of faith.
Like, what's the mentality like in that conversation with her? Like, is she nervous?
Oh, yeah.
Is she excited? Okay. How do you kind of guide her through like a company like us working with her to just make her feel good about the decision that she's making, that we're actually going to be able to help her, kind of build up her own brand, her own practice? Like, what's that conversation like?
Yeah, I mean, I have hundreds of stories and people in exactly the same situation. Family law attorneys that have broken away from large firms. I've shown her success stories. I've talked her through the exact strategy we use for those people.
Yep.
I mean, the proof's in the pudding at the end of the day. If we could do it once, 10 times, 20 times, 50 times, why can't we do it one more time for this?
I think that's a great call out. I think it's one of the key value propositions in the marketplace, right? Is that we've been working with law firms of all different types of industries or kind of verticals, if you will. So family law, criminal defense, PI, probate estate. We've been doing this for over 20 years. Yep. So we've seen every scenario, right? At this point, I don't think anybody could come to us and say, hey, my circumstance is really unique. You've never seen this before.
Equine law, perhaps. But other than that, we'd be good, I think.
Good point. But like as it relates to family law, like you said, we've done this. That's actually a very common thing that happens, right? They start their career working with an established firm, trying to kind of understand the ropes of what it's like to actually, take care of their own cases and kind of probably observing how those firms are running their business.
Yep.
So when they come to us and they're ready to do these things, we've got the reps. We've done these things a million times.
100%.
Love that.
And I was just going to quickly point out,
even
in another situation, you can have a solo attorney that's basically been a solo attorney for 10, 15 years on their own.
Yep.
In that situation, the strategy could be completely different.
Okay, let's talk about that. Like, what do you mean?
In that situation, often they've got the basic website. They might be ranking page 1 or 2, perhaps.
Okay,
if they're lucky.
Organically,
if they're lucky. But they come to me, James, I've been doing the same thing for 15 years. My revenue's either going down or it's stagnant. I need to build my revenue. So in that case, we could even start a stronger SEO package, broaden the keywords, get them out there on page 1 for multiple keywords, build up the revenue that way, and tack on some paid ads, because they're not in a rush to get business. They're pretty consistent.
Yeah, they're established. They've got, that makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
That makes perfect sense. So some great insights. So again, I think just to recap a couple of things that I think I heard. Number one, for these smaller firms that are kind of coming out of being a part of a larger firm, again, you want to make sure that they're getting cases quickly. So a lot of your advice is around, let's spend money in advertising and make sure that we're keeping the lights on, that we're keeping leads and cases come through.
Yep.
All the while, you got a brand new website. It's going to take us some time to actually get good organic visibility.
Correct.
So that's one strategy. The other is, like you said, the other smaller firm that's been around. They've got an established presence. They've got somewhat of a brand in their local market, but they may be a little bit flat. So maybe your strategy is, hey, like, let's actually invest a little bit more organically, right? To broaden where you are, get you a little bit more visibility for more search terms.
Yep.
Like, makes perfect sense. So awesome insights today from James talking about family law marketing. If you're a family law attorney and you're looking for ways that we can help you, please reach out. We'd love to have a conversation. Thanks again for joining this episode of Scorpion Insights. There'll be a lot more where that came from. And until next time, we hope you have a great day.